Hello there, and welcome to Roll on the Adventure, the podcast where we create role-playing games, playtest them, and then complain about why they were crap. Today we're going to be playing Splendor of the Stars, where stylish phantom thieves sow discord among a baroque science fiction nobility. Cue the intro. Roll, roll, roll,
roll on the adventure. Roll on the adventure.
The adventure. Amy's still not impressed.
No.
That actually kind of caught me by surprise, even though I know how the show works. Whoops.
So how's everyone doing?
We're cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
Right then, so Splendor of the Stars. Is everyone psyched up to be fashionable thieves?
Let's do this.
I mean, yeah, considering at the end of the last arc, I suggested having fashion as an element, I was very, very excited to see what you guys came up with. So
Awesome.
Forward to it.
Right then, so without further ado, I'm going to deal the first set of tarot cards. So we're going to we've got 4 players, so we need 7 major arcana, which I'm now just dealing out in front of me.
Okay.
And so what you're going to have to do is claim 1 each, and then I get the remaining 3 to build the world.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, our first card is the Moon.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Our second card is Judgment.
Oh, okay.
Our third card, the High Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Our fourth card is Death.
Oh shit.
It just means change. It's fine.
When we get the tower.
Oh no, you just did get the tower. How did you predict God, Chris? Guess the next one.
High Priestess.
No, Justice.
Okay.
So is that everyone?
And the Magician.
Oh, the magician.
I call dibs on the moon.
I
on
dibs on
magician.
magician.
Oh,
Damn
shit.
it.
Okay.
Oh, no. I'll be
Okay.
kind. You can have the magician.
Woohoo!
I thought there could be some competition.
I was praying for Wheel of Fortune, but hey, this is how we do.
I'll take Judgment if no one else wants it.
Oh, your hair is a mess. Your clothes look a bit raggedy, and oh, you didn't mean that.
Okay, so the Moon's been claimed. Chris has taken Judgment. And was it Magician you took, Amy?
Yes, I have the magician.
And Maggie has the Moon. Yeah.
What's left? Death and the High
The
Priest
The tower.
and the Tower.
And Justice.
I'll take Justice, actually.
Justice.
I
Yeah.
am justice. It's like, okay.
Beautiful. So you do know that means I've got as my 3 cards
Death. The
Death,
tower.
the Tower, and the High Priest.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now I'm trying to
This
work
is
out
going to be an interesting one.
which one to make the setting, which one to make the Sovereign, and which one to make the Treasure.
Which you
I-
don't tell us that, do you? You make that.
Oh no,
secret?
I do. It's because it should be obvious.
I kind of like the idea that the tower is the setting.
I
Ooh.
kind of like it, but I kind of also like the idea of the High Priest as the setting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The High Priest is normally referred to as the Hierophant, right? Just before I get
Yeah.
that horribly wrong.
Yeah, the Hierophant or the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard one where it's a Pope.
It's usually the French one is Le Pape. for that
Yeah.
card.
Okay.
I am also a tarot nerd. Did you know?
I'm a minor tarot nerd.
Cool. So
I feel like it's going to be quite evocative anyway, whatever.
I think I'm going to take the Tower as the Sovereign.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
For the setting, I am going to take the High Priest.
Okay.
And the treasure is death.
The Treasure is
Yes.
Death.
Sweet release from this mortal coil.
And exactly what it is going to be.
So as I say, the death is usually a major change in one's life. Usually, death leading to rebirth of some kind.
Depends how literally or not you want to take it.
Or it could just be a bejeweled scythe. That's also rad.
Or a death
Yeah.
mask.
I'm thinking possibly death, act as like literal death.
What? Okay.
It does make me think of like a decaying orbital elevator or something. It's the combination of the tower and death in a sci-fi thing.
Well, the tower it's something that's crumbling, something that's falling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm using the High Priest for it's going to be some sort of religious world, I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right.
And so yeah, I'm thinking the person that you are trying to relieve of their treasure is this embattled cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No.
Everything's going a bit wrong for them at the moment. They're pulling their allies as close as they can. The problem is that they are in possession of a weapon that means nobody wants to challenge them. Something so powerful that like not even the other nobles are willing to make the power play, just in case they get desperate enough to use it.
And so the nuclear war allegory starts here.
Oh, totally. I kind of just stole that from June.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that's what's going on.
Okay.
I'm going to give everything names and a bit of description in my little bit of downtime that I'm going to need.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've also got my 6 other cards to deal myself.
Is this a thing that you do in the background? Shall we chat? Shall we chat amongst ourselves about nerdery or our character designs? I guess
You
Yeah.
could do that, indeed.
Character
Mhm.
designs I quite like to talk about.
Cool. No, that's fun. Who wants to go first with their character?
I kind of.
We can also start allocating points.
Oh yeah, points as well can be done.
Mhm.
I like the idea of like Venetian masks and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I imagine almost a tuxedo with this very fine red cape, like lined with fur, and like the doctor's Venetian mask.
Oh, you mean like with the long nose?
Oh, the plague doctor mask. Sure. Okay.
The plague doctor masks.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah. Because for justice, I'm trying very, very hard just to not make my character Goro Akechi because that's too easy.
And there's the first Persona reference of the night.
Oh no, there would be. I
Hey.
assume the actual design phase was full of that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. So instead, I do kind of like the military angle of the kind of like I like the idea of, if you've not seen the Justice Tarot card, the two kind of like key objects in it is a large sword and the scales of justice. And there's something about the kind of like the shape of the scales that makes me think of like really dramatic shoulder pads, like military epaulets.
Cool.
Oh.
And that's something I quite like.
Quick aside.
Mhm.
I did miss one of the unusual cards when I was sorting my deck. So yeah, I got the 99 of Wands, which I'm going to take out and redraw.
Yes. Tell the people out there what deck you're using.
I'm using the Silicon Dawn Tarot deck because I couldn't find my Rider-Waite one.
It sounds incredibly bizarre, but also I want it. It can be
is
like
a
my
lovely,
7th deck.
Well, remind me if we're at something together. I'll bring it along so you can have a look.
Hell yeah.
It's like super nice,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it doesn't normally leave the house.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. In which case, don't go and risk your fancy stuff just for my eyes. That's okay. But,
I know it's fine.
Mm-hmm. So we've got like a plague doctor mask is like a signature graphic and accessory. We've got scales of justice shoulder pads. What does the moon have? What's the big feature of that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I've shuffled them back now. I'm just quickly doing my background things.
Mm-hmm.
So what have we got for the main feature of the moon?
I think I found your deck online. Is your the moon a white woman on a moon with a dog swimming beneath her?
Well, usually it is, I think.
Usually the moon is a dog and a wolf howling by a lake under the moon.
I googled the
Okay.
deck name you gave and see if I could find it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I do happen to have the moon right in front of me,
She has a scorpion tail. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
which I probably shouldn't, because that should be in front of one of you. This is one of the problems with doing this online.
Over the internet.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You can just kind of like put it away a ways so you don't accidentally
Yeah.
incorporate it.
Well, I just got to rewrite something. That's all.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the moon has 2 large towers in the distance, which actually mirrors quite nicely the fact that the tower is one of the things that we'll be handling.
I'm not looking at that one then.
There's water involved in the moon as well. That might be an interesting thing to riff off of.
Oh, that would be like an interesting if you got one of those really flowy scarves that almost looks like water when it moves.
That's neat.
Super space.
I was going to make my character super flamboyant, but that feels more like a sun thing.
I mean, that can work into it. Yeah.
No, I want to go with suave now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
As I recall, the meaning of the moon is a lot about dreams and illusion, so you can definitely make that flamboyant.
It usually represents the unconscious mind.
Mm-hmm. So you could be quite hypnotic in your design.
Very ethereal.
I'll go with suave, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at the other. I think it's eye for detail. Also the other stuff I was looking at.
I'm thinking magician is probably going to go for adaptability and eye for detail primarily.
Mm-hmm. As justice, I think I have a razor sharp sword accuracy, so I'm probably going to go for coordination and either adaptability or suave.
You've got quite a few points to spend, so.
But it's good to think of your primary and secondary, right? So I think coordination and adaptability are going to be my 2 higher ones.
Most of the tarot imagery I can find for judgment appears to be the last trump and people raising from the dead.
Yep.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, generally.
Do people think you're dead?
I was thinking, some kind of apostate. Some kind of traveling apostate priestess that was thought dead. Basically, very black, plain robes, but if you actually look at them, they're kind of super black almost. That drink in the surrounding light. With a tendency to probably some weird arcanotech, like a weird brass arcanotech trumpet that never actually gets played up until something dramatic happens.
Ooh, yeah. When you know that when the horn plays, shit is absolutely going down.
Going down, yeah. So not much in the way of flamboyance, but a fair bit of eye for detail and adaptability.
Cool.
What other details of my character?
So, special abilities is a thing.
Oh, yes.
Because each of us chooses one category to have the special ability of.
I like adaptability's power of pick one status is never weak for you this game. So I can always have incredible accuracy with my sword fighting. If he is a sword fighter, he's absolutely a sword fighter. What am I saying?
Of course you are.
I like the idea of the eye for detail special.
Yeah.
Once per event, you may ask for info on a complication.
Yeah, get that espionage shit.
Maggie, who you got character-wise? What are you thinking?
I was going with suave for the moon. Suave, perceptive moon.
Do you have an idea of what they look like?
Yes, I do. They have an appearance with clothing and features.
I mean, it would be very bold to try and steal something naked. Where would you hide it?
Just Emperor's New Clothes, this. Oh, that would be awesome if someone had the Emperor card. Just decided to be naked.
Just full on just bullshitted of course I'm dressed in the most amazing clothing. You are
just
not
the most
worthy
flamboyant
to see
thing ever. Flamboyant and suave.
Oh, it's AR clothing, so they can see it, but nobody else can.
Okay, so I quite like the idea of long and flowing. I like low.
That fits with water and
yeah. So I'd say the colours I'd be going for are silver and blue.
Yep.
Long silvery hair, I'd say about down to just below my shoulders. So sort of on my shoulders, but not going down too far. And then she'd have, I'd say a blue dress, bit of cleavage, not terribly accessorized, maybe 1 silver bracelet. Let's see let's see, moon. They control the tide, so I'd say the bracelet is of waves, whatever that might look like.
Okay. Yeah. No, I
And
dig that.
And I know the one. So you got a necklace of a star. It's sort of actually no, it's sort of a pendulant. It's blue, but it's got little silvery bits in it that look like stars. So it's sort of like the night sky.
Cool.
No, that's sick. You've definitely put more detail into it than I've got so far. I need to think about color scheme and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I mean, going by my card, red and gold is definitely a leading kind of like theme to the card art for Justice.
Yeah, the magician is a bit of a weird one because it's more like pastel colors, I guess.
Which is,
But I imagine, yeah.
that feels, whimsical, which definitely kind of, I guess, kind of goes against the Plague Doctor Mask aesthetic. But then maybe your character is quite capricious, going for like happy colors but somber aesthetic. Pastel
Yeah.
goth.
I love pastel. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that idea.
That's a thing.
Oh yes, pastel goth is absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely that's the thing.
I think this Justice character is definitely very, very barrel chested. They are they're wearing what would be kind of like a military style jacket, but it's got like tactical cutouts, so you can see the chest. That's very important that's visible.
Nice.
They've got like long boots that go to the knee, and the points of like the toes are very, very pointy. If you kick somebody with that, you would probably do some serious damage.
Cool.
And they've got little dangly sword earrings.
Working the motif.
Yeah. Like, I think even though a sword will kind of make our way into this narrative once we actually get going, they don't visibly carry a sword, not yet.
I imagine my guy like carries a chalice wherever he goes. With that theme.
Yeah, I have my creepy Magitech trumpet thing, and the moon sounds like there's quite a lot of jewelry involved. It's kind of fun just sitting down and working actually out actual proper character designs rather than just kind of the usual I'm a dude in some armor or whatever is genre appropriate.
You need to play more games with me, son. This is an important part of the proceedings.
I really do.
How else are you going to get people to draw fan art of your character?
Pay them normally.
Well. I don't know, man. The goal is to kind of do enough cool actual play stuff where people will want to draw my characters just out of the own
Get it for free. Yeah.
kindness of their own heart. Look slowly into camera.
Cameras where?
Everywhere.
You're not supposed to tell him about the cameras.
So we have our character designs down. That's good. I think most of us have picked our power. I'm not going to go into the fine numbers, which numbers have picked for what, because that's boring. Who cares?
Cool. So, are you ready to hear where you're going to be headed?
Let's go.
Awesome. So, while they were creating characters, I had a bit of a delve into what I could possibly do. And I had the High Priest for the setting. So I've gone for a cathedral world, like a holy world of one of the major religious sects in the galaxy. For the Sovereign, I've gone for a cardinal who's possibly up for a fall at the moment. Things aren't necessarily going well for them. They're drawing their allies close around them, getting a bit desperate. As that was the Tower. And for the treasure, I've gone for Death, a strange artifact known only as the Void Mother, which will be there to add an air of threat to the scenario. That's why the Cardinal hasn't just been deposed and replaced. So I'm going to get the rest of them back, and I'm going to introduce them to their mission.
Hey.
And we're back.
Hi.
Right then. So your mission, well, you've already chosen to accept it, otherwise you would have got to the stage. So there is the holy world of Logos Kalak, and on Logos Kalak, the Cardinal Clement Angelius is currently experiencing, you'd call it a rough patch, but it's hard for it to be a rough patch when the guy owns like an entire city and, you know, lots of holdings outside that. Is incredibly rich and well connected, but also are the people, you know, creating the coup against. He's deeply unpopular with pretty much everyone on the planet who doesn't comprise part of his inner circle. The only thing stopping them from overthrowing him in a violent revolution is the fact that he owns a thing called the Void Mother. It's all that's keeping him in power.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nobody that you know has seen it. You've just heard strange whispers of this thing. However, to sort of draw up his support, secure his position in the nobility, he's having quite a grand soiree this evening with members of his dining club. And you've managed to swing some invites.
Delightful.
So, if everybody could quickly mute again, so I can explain who's going to what I'm doing to set this party up.
Mute or deafen?
Sorry, deafen.
Gotcha.
Okay, so at this party, we're going to have this said dining club. Think of a better name for that. Which is rated at difficulty 10. Its weak stat is coordination. So if people use coordination, they don't kind of like mismatch styles. They think it's brash or, you know, whatever. The thing that's strong when used against them is adaptability, because if you've got one outfit and can pull it off under any circumstance, they do appreciate that. There's also going to be his mistress, Lady Aora, who's 48. The weak stat against them is eye for detail. However, the flamboyance is quite strong against them. She knows that he's unpopular and is kind of looking for a way to desert him. He possibly knows that as well. The last one that's going to be there is the Hanged Man card, who's going to be Andris, the ornamental prophet. I will explain a little bit more what that means, but he's got difficulty of 15. Suave is weak when used against him, but coordination is strong. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this party and get them to introduce themselves in character. So it's evening and the sun is setting over the high cathedral of Solace, a great towering edifice. And in the ballroom near the top of it, in the Western ballroom with its grand painted ceilings and floating chandeliers, mill the good, well, I say good, the wealthy of the world of Logos Kalak. They're dancing. There's a live orchestra. There's also a small balcony jutting out into the sky where various aircraft can dock. And the first we'll see of your characters is you stepping down the landing ramp, flanked by servants. The house's servants.
Well,
would you like to introduce your character as you strut down the ramp?
It's good to be seen by people who work here. At least they know how to treat true stylish guests. I suppose you're wondering who I am. I am Chris Flamberge. I tend to dominate the room with my presence, shall we say. I'm very wide-shouldered. But I like to make sure that people can see that kind of asset, so I like to make sure that the outfits I wear accentuate that in a way that is suitable. I also like swords a lot.
Are you currently armed?
Absolutely not. Why would I bring a weapon to a building such as this? That would make me seem hostile. I do have sword earrings and a sword belt buckle, but that's just for show.
Oh, now that we've heard from Brawns, maybe Brain should give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm said. Oh fuck! What did I call myself? I'm Sedna Tranquil. I believe less is more.
Okay.
They are quickly followed after by Juno Lagerdeman, who is decked out in a plague doctor's mask with very pastel colors for a lot of their clothing. And it's also very billowy, so you can't exactly tell what gender they are. They prefer to keep it a mystery. But they have this cape that sort of billows behind them and gives them a little sense of majesty.
And behind Juno glides in a figure wearing what look like fairly plain robes, but they're so black they seem to drink in all the surrounding light.
Ooh.
Long enough that she can't actually see any sense of movement, doing that slightly creepy gown gliding thing.
Mm.
Wearing what looks like very, as I say, very plain, almost nun-like robes. The only touches of colour are bone white skin of her face and hands, and on her hip there's a strange, almost a trumpet sort of device wound round with strange circuitry and symbols. She looks at the three of you. I'm Mother Jeskard of the Tarnakalak. This planet has changed much since last I was here, and little for the better. But we have business to be done here.
Absolutely.
Shall we be about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course. I am always interested in assistance in the things that they do. Of course, if you don't intend to assist, then I suggest that you get out of my way.
Juno simply makes a nodding motion and otherwise remains quiet.
Very good, very good.
I roll my Sedna rolls her eyes.
I'm not going to make you roll for that, don't worry.
roll to roll your
Roll
eyes.
for eyes.
Yeah, Chris
not roll
just
for shoes.
shrugs back at you. Fair enough.
Cool. The band is playing quite a jovial tune as you stride into the main hall. There's various small groups of people, and they all seem to be kind of coordinated with each other.
Like color coordinated or a dance routine?
Either in color or in like various shapes in their outfit, like motifs.
Oh, they're cliquey. I see.
Yes, very cliquey. Other people that will be obvious are the Cardinal himself, who is wearing very, very ceremonial robes. He's got like the sort of flying cherub thing that follows him around, holding his cape. It's not one of the 40k ones. It actually looks nice.
Shade.
Slightly disappointed.
Yeah, he's got like his little cherub following him around. On his arm is a beautiful woman, and also in the area, sort of wandering around, sort of babbling madly at people. It is a rather strangely underdressed man.
Well, that's strange. Has nobody arrested this peasant yet?
Oh, the guests just seem to find him delightful.
Oh, that's strange.
Every court must have its fool.
Well, that's why you're here, Sedna.
No doubt this is the Cardinals.
No, I'm here to apologise for you. A task I imagine I'll be performing in about 5 minutes.
Sort of off to the side, Juno's shoulders shake, but you don't hear them laugh.
I like that. Silent laughter.
Don't be so uptight, Sedna. Don't be so uptight. We've worked many cases before. You would think that you would be used to my sense of humor by now.
Well, it's good that you're starting to develop a sense of humour, if only a sense.
Well, better a sense of humor than a lack of sense of taste. I'm going to go find some canapes, excuse me.
So, who's going to be investigating what? Who's going to be checking thing?
Mm-hmm. This is time.
So we've got the naked underdressed guy.
He's not naked. He's just not dressed up. He's got like shabby sort of.
Oh, he's underdressed as opposed to undressed.
Wearing what we're probably actually wearing in real life, t-shirts, jumpers.
Space t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, he's more wearing clerical robes, but not the ridiculously jeweled and gold embossed ones the Cardinal's wearing.
Okay.
He doesn't have a cherub following him around.
Oh, how basic.
I know.
Who doesn't have a cherub?
Okay, so it's a matter of stating the thing we intend to do and the stat that we want to use with it?
Yep, you can do two things, so you can investigate two things, basically.
Okay, I think Chris's first thing that he wants to do is while they're one of the.
Sorry, you did pick your stats before you came into the thing.
Oh gosh,
right?
yeah.
Good, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So, what did everyone pick?
Oh, going with the stat names first before the things that we do. Sure.
Yeah.
I chose adaptability.
Yeah.
And eye for detail.
Cool.
I think I'm going to go for also eye for detail and suave.
I'm
Cool.
going to go for suave and coordination.
Cool.
I'm going to go for suave and adaptability.
Ah, no one's being flamboyant.
Completely forgot about Chris.
Thanks.
Rip.
Now I'm just used to having 3 players for these things.
Yeah.
That's true. I am spoiling the flow a little bit. I apologize.
I think I forgot to take like an extra thing as well, so we now have more stats than we can divide up properly. Oh well. Fair enough. Okay then. So who's going to be looking at what?
Okay. If I may go first.
Go for it.
I would like to scope out who, since everybody is kind of cliqued by the style or shape of their attire, Chris wants to go find the pointiest clique and ingratiate himself within it.
Great.
Sedna would like to speak to the waiting staff because the staff always know what's going on.
Okay. Juno?
I think Juno is going to observe what the underdressed man is doing.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And Mother Jessgard?
Okay. As I walk forward, I'm gonna make my clothing shift shape slightly so it fits in more with some of the lesser members of the court and begin just ingratiating myself or talking to them and finding out the latest rumors and gossip of the local powers, whatever's going on.
Okay, yeah. So for the general sort of guest list, who's putting what stat towards them?
Towards the general guest list.
Well, the cliques, basically.
Yes. Adaptability would be
cool.
I would like to use that.
Right. And that's how many dice?
That is 8 dice.
Ooh, cool.
Let's start strong.
And for your other stat, what are you going to be putting that towards?
I guess depending on whether this is kind of like a two-part deal, whether the eye for detail is finding the clique and adaptability to put myself within it, is how I kind of rationalize that out.
The same stat.
Okay.
Sorry, against the same obstacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Otherwise it screws the numbers horrendously.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is a good thing to explain to me. I'm going to then use the eye for detail to scope out the canapes and drinks table, because there's always a suspicious bowl of punch at these kind of dealies, and if somebody's going to poison it, I'm going to see what's going on.
Right. I'm not sure where to put that, because the 3 things in play are currently the dining club, the guy who in the robes, and the lady with him. Okay, so for reference, I need to point out which ones are the important ones quite heavily.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Let's go switch that to keeping a distant eye to see if the scruffy man does anything suspicious then.
Okay, and that's eye for detail, and that was
7.
7, cool. Next up.
So what were the...
Oh, we're putting stats towards things.
Mm-hmm.
What were the 3 targets again? The guy in robes, the scruffy man, and the
lady.
And the lady with him. Oh, sorry, the lady with the
cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
The cardinal, yeah. In terms of the scruffy man, I'm going to put eye for detail.
Okay. And how many is that?
That is, for me, 8.
Yep.
How often can a special be used? Is it once per scene or once per game?
Oh, which special is it?
Gain more information about the situation for eye for detail.
It's once per event, so basically, yeah, you can find out like what one of these is strong against, what one of it's weak against. You can guess a number, and I'll tell you if it's lower and higher for the difficulty.
Okay. Could I do that before I commit a stat to it, or?
Why, yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to use my special on the Scruffy Man.
Okay. And what do you want to find out?
I want to find out what he is. I'm guessing weak against.
Okay, so the thing that would be strong. So this is the problem. I've not found a good way to do that.
The thing that would be strong against him.
The thing that would be strong is coordination.
Okay, coordination is strong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And neither of the stats I chose in the scene were coordination.
Again, yeah.
So yeah, you're putting forward. So you're gonna stick with what you were putting forward before, which was eye for detail.
Yes.
Cool. And for your other one,
presumably I only picked 2 to go into the scene with.
Yes.
So the other one would have been Suave.
cool. And who are you going to be using Suave to interact with?
I'm going to be using that on the lady.
Okay, cool. And what's the number for that?
7.
7. Cool. And now, Sedna?
Okay, so out of the 3 targets you said, I think Seda's going to go ingratiate herself with the lady.
Okay. And you're using...
Suave.
Okay, and what's the value?
I'm still not clear on this. So what does this? What is my stats? Do you mean or?
Yeah, what's the value of that stat?
8.
8. Cool. And for your other action?
Okay, so I said I was using not composition, coordination, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So who are you sending coordination over at?
Bearing in mind you have the information that the Scruffy Man is weak against that.
Right. So I'm trying to think how I'd fluff this. Like, what am I? How is my coordination?
Maybe you're shadowing them.
Yeah, that I could go with that.
Or you kind of help them with their clothing to make it look a bit better. And
Hold on, let me think. So I'm trying to ingratiate myself with the lady. Maybe use my. Oh, well, that's suave. No. Hold on, give me 1 minute. So ingratiate yourself with the lady. That's suave. That's making it look like I belong there.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be that your outfit is impeccably coordinated. You're using a mismatch of things, and it's just coming off amazing. And
I'll do
that's
that.
Just part of how you're doing things.
Mhm.
Okay, so what's the value of that stat?
Coordination. So hold on, it was that was 7.
Cool, and that's a strong one. Great. And finally, Juno.
Wait, no, sorry. Sorry, that was 5. 5 is coordination. 7's adaptability.
And you've already done me, different
yeah,
person.
Oh yeah,
just me there.
Or the Jess card.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to try and use my, not being entirely sure of what position the woman actually is, if she's just as floozy or is actually of rank herself, use my adaptability to try and find out what's going on with her and adapt
Cool.
myself appropriately.
Yeah, and what's the number for that?
My adaptability is 8.
Cool.
And then use my suave was the other stat I'm using, so I'm just going to try and be generally smooth with the guy in robes was, I believe, the other target.
The scruffy guy.
No, the other one.
Oh, the dining club.
Yes. Sorry,
So they're the general guests for this particular
Yes.
party.
And just kind of move amongst them, meeting and greeting.
Yeah, brilliant. And what stat was that?
That was suave, which I have a rating of 7 in.
Okay, so now we've got dice pools. So the adaptability against the dining club was good. So that takes you up to 17 dice there.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's not a huge amount, considering that the lady currently is up against 23.
Mm-hmm.
And coordination's good there. I might have to revisit the numbers, to be honest, because that's like 22.
Some big numbers.
We were slightly winging it when we did the stat.
We were completely spitballing it. And we only get a few events, so... Cool. So who would like to... would anyone like to replan, first of all? Now you know different things.
I am happy to stick with what I've got, I think, this time.
Yep.
Adaptability for the cliques, eye for detail for the scruffy man.
Okay, so would someone like to roll 17 dice for the dining club?
Okay. And this is
17.
like adding all the totals together, I guess. Or no, that's not right. That's not
No,
right.
it's
I've read the
successes.
book.
7
Yeah.
or above is success. If it is
7
a 10,
or
it
above.
explodes.
Mm-hmm. And I am rolling 17.
Yes.
Okay. First 5.
Should
That
I
is-
do it because I've got a dice roller?
Yeah,
okay.
me too. Hold on, I've
Right,
got the.
good. I'll do
I also have a dice roller and a tablet. I'm smart. I since I've said that I want to roll this one, I want to roll this one. But actually,
Yeah.
if you've already got your dice roller open already, go do that.
Yeah,
while
I've got it.
Yeah.
I just have a lot
Okay.
of dice.
You roll it then, Sedna.
Who has 17 d10s?
I've run Exalted.
Anyone? Yeah.
So Sedna, roll 17
hold
d10.
on.
7 plus is success, 10 is explosion.
Hold on, just doing that now. Give me a second. Okay, so we have. So 7 is a success. Did you say
7 or more.
7 or more? We've got 1 explosion. 2. So we've got 2 explosions,
Yeah.
and after the explosions, we've got 1, 2, 3 successes and 2 explosions.
Okay, so is that a total of 5 successes then?
Yeah. 2 of which are explosions.
And can you re-roll those extra 2 then?
Okay, so that's I said 2, right? So I'll just re-roll those.
Yes.
Also, I need to know if you got any 1s.
So 2 d10s.
Oh, hold on. There you go. 2d10s. They were fail. They were 6 and a 5.
Okay, so and how many 1s did you get in total?
It wasn't. The dice have gone.
Just roll another 17 and tell me how many 1s you get.
Oh, okay. No. There were no 1s on those other die. So yeah, I'll just roll some more.
Yeah. It's all right.
There you go. No 1s.
Nice. Congrats. That's pretty lucky. Okay. So you got 5 successes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the dining club, they're quite a big part of this guy's power, but he's kind of grown distant from them recently. You know, he's running things a bit less often. He thinks maybe some of them are out to get him, and quite possibly some of them are.
The cliques are getting restless.
Yeah. He's no longer the glorious and amazing leader that they needed as a figurehead.
I see.
Right. So, speaking with Lady Iora, we got 23 dice for that.
I can do that. Well, actually, let's see if my dice roll even goes up to 23. It does.
It's going to be hilarious if this goes incredibly well.
So 23 d10,
yeah,
7s
gosh.
or more counting as successes.
yeah, you need to count the 1s as well. Remember.
Yes. So I have 5 successes. 3 of them are explosions,
Yeah.
which I can roll in meat space because that's actually reasonable.
How many 1s?
2 1s so far.
Okay.
With the 3 dice, they all are successes, one of which explodes. Can you double explode?
Yes.
Yes.
And another success. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes, 2 1s.
9 successes, 2 1s.
Hell yeah.
And okay, I'm going to work out where to put those 2 1s. Do I buff something else? Do I...
One's basically going to a pool for later use.
That was a pretty good roll, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very good roll. Okay, so you find out that, like the dining club, Lady Iora, his mistress, is kind of tiring of this golden cage, as it may or may not become a golden tomb sometime in the near future. And after spending a wonderful evening with 3 of you, you think you've got her on your side. Okay, we'll do the other bit with the hanged man. Outside. I just told you a card. Shut up. It doesn't matter. You don't know.
I didn't hear anything. Who?
Yeah.
What?
Quiet you. But yes, who's going to be talking to the scruffy guy in the robes and the talking weird and stuff?
I think Juno is going to communicate with them. Less speak, more communicate.
Yeah.
Because apparently now I've decided Juno is just miming things.
Yeah. Roll the dice.
Okay, so how many am I rolling here?
22.
Okay, 22 d10s. Okay.
You know, I don't get to use dice roller apps very often. It's nice to have the opportunity to.
That's 9 successes, 2 explosions. Let me check.
How many ones?
There were no successes on the explosions, and there were 2 ones.
2 ones. Okay. And so you got a total of 11?
I guess, yes.
Okay, cool. Going to. So I'm going to
Okay.
do this bit of role playing first because I think this is going to, work out a little bit nicer than doing it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, through the people that were kind of finding out a bit about him before you went up, this is Andres. Andres is the Cardinal's ornamental prophet. You know, they used to have ornamental hermits.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like an ornamental hermit. That he's probably was a normal guy, and what they've done is they've fit him full of a ridiculous amount of neural enhancement,
Nice.
and it's kind of driven him a bit mad. However, he's almost always right about things. It's made him like a strange oracle almost.
Hmm.
He speaks in riddles that they have to interpret, but that's a nice thing for these nobles. It's instead of having everything explained to them.
I like the idea we're having a guy who speaks in riddles speaking to a person who speaks in mime.
Yeah, and he completely and utterly seems to get what you're trying to get across.
Nice.
So yeah, what are you miming?
So he's the essentially the court prophet.
Yeah, I mean, people do actually seem to listen to what he says.
I think he's going to mime, what do you see? Like, with the I'm watching you kind of thing. Like, what do you see?
I see an angel that fell.
Um,
He grins.
Juno makes like the wings thing with both of his hands interlocked together, and just sort of tilts his head, tilts their head.
He tilts his head as well, like just mimicking like your exact posture.
They start gesturing around them, like they're around the court, and basically saying, where is the angel? And does the wings sign again?
Well, you flew in together.
Ooh.
He kind of cackles a little bit.
Juno
Yeah,
sort of nods,
for the Heart of Black, yeah.
not really understanding.
For the Heart of Black. Below, 5 pillars stand before you. 5 pillars and a sword. And I. You're an interesting one.
Juno nods and like brings their hands up to their cheeks and sort of goes like, the ugu face kind of thing.
Kind of leans really close, like really close to you, and just whispers something in your ear. And it's the name of your homeworld.
Okay. Juno just like hovers there and doesn't really react. You can't see a reaction with their mask.
Although, with all the gear, he cackles and like skips off into the crowd.
Juno just tilts their head and then shrugs and walks off.
Since Chris is spent like put dice into the game to observe Andreas, where does he skip off to?
Oh, he's talking with all sorts of people, and you're gonna notice that the word fallen angel does come up. No secret is safe with him because he doesn't get it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, he's not playing the game of the court, which is his job. That's his role. But it makes him very dangerous.
They turned a man into a complete wild card for good or for ill, but that's just amusement on their part and frustration for everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess of interest is who does he immediately go and skip off to go talk to? Because that, I think, is an important detail.
Okay, it's going to be one of the staff. He seems to be talking to them about, quantitatively as much as he's talking to anyone else in the room.
How does this member of the staff react? And I think that's my last question for this.
Looks a little bit taken aback. I mean, the guys kind of just word saladed in their face.
Mhm.
Some of it's not in a language that anyone's spoken in like 100 years. And yeah, the staff don't seem to find him as amusing.
Understandable, also.
Cool. However, you at some point in the evening, you do manage to separate Lady Iora from the Cardinal.
That is not my game. There's other thieves who put dice towards that.
Yeah. So, other thieves who put dice towards that. What you doing?
Trying
who
to
put dice towards that?
I think everyone else. I did.
Okay.
I know you did.
What about Sedna?
Tranquil?
I think Senna did.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that was my secondary.
Yeah. So, so basically over the course of the evening, you've got talking to her at a few points, and she's making a good show of it, but she's not happy. And finally, you manage to get her on her own.
Does she seem particularly angry or wanting to escape, or
You're feeling the latter. She keeps trying to go talk to other people, like other possibly eligible gentlemen, but like the Cardinal's kind of got on a bit of a short leash in that regard.
you appear to have fallen under the control of something of a strong pull there?
Well,
Tell me if you...
he had far stronger pull in his heyday.
Yes, but even the brightest of stars gutters and burns out eventually. It is best to be far gone from the event horizon before they collapse into themselves. Or sometimes are made to collapse.
But would it be better to be dead than to be orbiting some brown dwarf on the edge of the galaxy? She gestures like outside.
I finger the trumpet on my hip. That is always a final escape if one should seek such things. I personally prefer to seek out other stars amongst the galaxy and the dominions of heaven.
Well, I believe you've come to the wrong place here, then.
I'm sure an enterprising young lady such as yourself must have made some inquiries as to the dispositions of your gentleman's resources. There's normally a certain amount that can be acquired without causing too much disruption.
But then I'd have to do everything for myself. Surely it'd be easy just to acquire a new patron.
That is to be preferred, to be sure, but it is normally more seemly if one's previous patron is sadly no longer with us. Otherwise, they tend to kick up such a fuss.
I take it you're not here to offer spiritual solace, then?
Is this not what I am doing?
Oh no, I meant for him.
He is of the church himself. I'm sure he can make his own peace with eternity. Look down at a timepiece on my wrist. I'm sure that the sands wind down to that appointment for him ever more swiftly.
And when that time comes, would I know, maybe just in time to leave?
I'm sure you'll know when the time comes. But the heavens do help those who help themselves. I'm sure the good father has a rapid, well-equipped, comfortably equipped shuttlecraft that, if it were to be in a convenient position, would be fortuitous for you to make your escape.
True, but I need somewhere to land it.
I'm sure that such things can be arranged.
She smiles. Well, it's been charming, and she dances back into the hand of the Cardinal, who's just striding over, wondering what's going on.
I make the appropriate church bow of respect.
Yeah, there's some churchy talk about raising saints and stuff like that. Yeah, beautifications, that kind of stuff.
Correct way to wear your tonsure.
Cool. So, you have flipped over the Empress card for Lady Iora, which means you've reduced her to 0 strength as an asset, and in future you'll be able to build her up to as an asset for yourselves.
Awesome.
Great. We're gonna take a quick break there while I sort out the next scene.
Okay.
Awesome.